Hello and welcome to my showreel. I'm Ben Turner. I've been working as a journalist at ITV Calendar for the last 4 years. Here's a quick look at some of the stories which I've shot and covered in that time. You think this looks brutal? This is just an England training session before they jet off to fight for the Wheelchair Rugby League World Cup.
No matter what version of rugby league you play, it's a tough sport. That is heavy hit after heavy hit, and wheelchair rugby league is no different. The only thing is, you're likely to get your finger caught in a tyre as well.
I was 415 pounds at 6'1". I was never designed to be that size. I was battered from every angle, and then I had the toxicity of the drugs in my system as well.
So why did you do it to yourself?
Because I wanted to see how big I could get.
Dave Crossland took steroids for 8 years. And 3 years ago he pushed that use almost to breaking point.
This is from my last cycle.
As part of a documentary, he trained and took drugs for 40 weeks to reach his goal weight of almost 30 stone. All, he claims, to find out what effect high-level drug use would have on his body.
There is no research at all on high-dose steroid use. So how the hell are you going to help people if you don't know what you're talking about?
So you did it
partly
as an experiment on yourself?
Partly. Partly it was an experiment on myself, partly it was to see how big I could get, and partly it was research. It was a combination of things.
This week's drug of choice is Dianabol.
Dave now works as a drugs advisor, warning others about their effects.
This is basically my drugs case. So when I'm doing talks and discussing steroids, obviously, a lot of people haven't even seen them, don't know what they are. So this isn't just steroids, this is the whole family of what's classed as image and performance enhancing drugs. Steroids generally come as injectables or orals. So what in this box here is the most commonly used? The most commonly used drugs are testosterone-based drugs. But the three common ones are propionate, cypionate and enanthate. Then the other very common drug is Trenbolone, which is a veterinary drug.
So that's specifically meant to be for animals then?
Trenbolone, as today, is not passed for human use.
But people are taking it?
It's powerful, it's effective, but there's a lot of side effects with it as well.
Everyone. This was the moment that football officially came home to Scarborough. After a decade playing 17 miles down the road in Bridlington, Scarborough Athletic are finally playing in their own town.
Well, I think it's what they deserve as well. It's a lovely stadium, and hopefully it'll be the start for them to be able to build something a bit bigger.
Obviously, we've played in Bridlington for 10 years now, and it's obviously a lot of travelling people to do, so we're hoping local community and people of Scarborough really get behind them again now.
And I'm probably the most excited man on the planet, actually. It's absolutely tremendous. It's an old saying, but players come and go, managers come and go, chairmen come and go, but it's about the fans out there, it's about the supporters. They've waited 10 years for this as we have, and we're just so glad to be home.
It wasn't quite the romantic result they would have wanted. The Blades beat Borough by 4-1, but a momentous day nonetheless, as Scarborough get ready for their first season back where they belong. Ben Turner, ITV News.
Youth on the council estate are bricking private hire firms.
Asif Afzal is the chairman of the union representing drivers in the city. He says the branding on their cars, which Leeds City Council insists they have, is making them a growing target to youths.
It's a health and safety issue. If it's not picked up, somebody's going to die at some point. Enough is enough. We don't want this to be seen as a bully boy tactic. We want this to be seen as a cry out for help. That's what we want. We're asking for help.
And it was heartbreak for Barnsley, who suffered relegation to the Football League on the final day of the season. Here's Ben Turner with the best of the action from the final day of the Championship season.
Barnsley started the day outside the relegation zone, but faced a tough task away at promotion-chasing Derby. And the Tykes found that task difficult. George Monker's curling effort the only positive in a 4-1 defeat that cost them their championship status and cost manager Jose Moraes his job. A win on the final day of the campaign for Sheffield United saw the Blades finish in the top 10. Goals from Leon Clark, Billy Sharp and Kieran Freeman enough to see them beat Bristol City, despite a late comeback from the hosts. Meanwhile, their Steel City rivals Sheffield Wednesday also ended a disappointing season on a high. A hat-trick from Andre Nuihu seeing them thrash Norwich 5-1. Leeds United fly out for their tour of Myanmar on the back of 3 points. Goals from Calvin Phillips and this overhead kick from Kemar Roof saw the Whites end their season with a 2-0 win over QPR. And Jared Bowen stabbed in from John Terrell's header to see Hull City come back and earn a point at Brentford. Ben Turner, ITV News. 1 in 10 men who go to the gym suffer from muscle dysmorphia, what's been dubbed bigorexia. Where those who suffer from anorexia are afraid of gaining weight, those with bigorexia fear they'll never have a big enough muscle mass.
I wanted to be the biggest, freakiest looking guy, strongest, most powerful. That's where my body dysmorphia took me.
Adam Trice from Shipley is now 33 years old. He's battled with the condition since he was a teenager.
I remember a time when I was about in 2008, 2009, I think I was about 18.5 stone when I was on holiday. And I looked relatively well, but if I looked in a mirror, I'd feel small. I can remember my motive for coming was a breakdown of a relationship.
To help control his anger, Adam was referred to Brave, an anger counselling project for men in Bradford.
What do you think could have happened if you never went through that door?
One or two things. I'd have had to end up dead, most definitely, or in jail for killing somebody, without a shadow of a doubt.
Our very own Christine then got things underway. With runners, joggers and walkers having their own unique reasons for competing.
We're doing it for everybody, aren't we? I'm doing it for my nana. I race for my 2 friends who beat with cancer.
And Race for Life isn't just about the runners, it's about the people who support them. And there you have it. Thanks for taking the time out to watch. For more information, head to my Twitter or Facebook page, which are on screen now.